From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your evening update.
Dennis's Heating and Air Conditioning is Northern California's premier heating and air conditioning contractor. From residential housing, large commercial projects, installation to repair, sheet metal fabrication, and everything in between, we are your go-to heating and air conditioning specialist.
Well, if you enjoy the beautiful spring day out there today, then there is a very good chance that you're going to be very happy with tomorrow's weather, because we've got another dry and warm day with temperatures actually a little bit warmer in some spots. Even the valley, parts of the valley could be flirting with that 80-degree mark for tomorrow. But you know what? That's not going to last forever. We've got showers returning for some of us as early as Wednesday, and significantly cooler. We're talking about a 20 to even close to a 25-degree drop from today to Thursday. So quite a drop in our temperatures, but with that colder air, we're talking low snow levels, especially for this time of the year. Could drop down to about 2,500 feet, maybe locally lower. All right, so here's your neighborhood at a glance here for tomorrow. Yes, another gorgeous day. Many of us are going to be a bit warmer. A few more clouds, though, I think, for the coast here for tomorrow. Siskiyou County, Modoc, even the eastern mountains, low 70s. I mean, just an absolutely gorgeous day, but don't get too excited about that just yet. We'll talk about that a little bit later. You know, the winds were pretty gusty in some spots here, especially for the first half of the day. They'll pick up again tomorrow, but instead of being from the north, they'll be from the south. But not as strong as they were today, but you can see gusts upwards of around 10, 20 miles per hour. Then the winds kind of die down again as we go into Wednesday morning, but as we go into Wednesday afternoon, those winds will pick up even stronger. Could see gusts up around 25, even 30 miles per hour with the approaching system coming in on Wednesday. So off and on winds here. Now we look at the severe outlook. This is taking a look at Wednesday. Now the areas of green, basically the Storm Prediction Center is saying, hey, these are the best places where we could see a chance for a few isolated thunderstorms. But quite honestly, I mean, we could even quite possibly see a little bit of activity here for parts of the valley. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at Futurecast. Show what we got going on here. Of course, today, as I mentioned, it was gorgeous. Tomorrow may even be a bit better for some of us. But notice the clouds tomorrow morning, really as early as tomorrow morning, we're starting to see some more clouds along the coast, and they'll probably start to kind of push a little bit more as we get closer to some of the inland areas for tomorrow afternoon. And even a few clouds developing for some of the higher elevations, so not quite as much sunshine as we see the next system kind of come through. Now, there's a very weak disturbance that'll pass through tomorrow evening, and it could bring us a chance for a little bit of activity in parts of Siskiyou County and even Modoc County, and we can't, of course, forget to mention maybe even parts of northeastern Shasta County as well. Few and far between, most likely not in the form of thunderstorms, but certainly something worth watching. Now, Wednesday morning, another system coming in from the north, that's the one I've got my eyes on. Now, this is going to potentially bring us a few light showers. I mean, this is very light that you're seeing right here. There's a very good chance it won't even be in the form of rain. But that's the best chance for Wednesday morning in Del Norte County. You see how it pushes to the south. So this, again, very light and most likely not even reaching the ground. The bulk of any rain we see for Wednesday morning into the noon hour, you can see will be in Siskiyou County. But even Modoc County getting in on some of that as well. This will continue to push eastward. And you see what's happening? Now we're seeing the potential for Redding, Red Bluff, maybe Corning seeing some showers, and then progressing northeastward. So parts of Siskiyou County, Modoc County seeing the activity. And again, this is one of the reasons why the Storm Prediction Center is showing a chance for thunderstorms in Modoc County. But again, this area here too could see an isolated thunderstorm as well, something worth watching. But take a look at this, snow levels. Fairly high to start, between 5,500 and 6,500 feet. I mean, we're not even seeing much in the way of frozen precipitation being indicated by Futurecast, maybe on the mountain of Mount Shasta and maybe some of those higher mountains near the Warner Mountains. But overall, mainly in the form of rain. But notice it's not really making its way far south into Glenn or Butte County. So Chico, Willows, Orville, you may see some of these showers push that far south, but the chances are slimmer the farther south you go. But still looking at some of that decent rain, maybe some thunderstorms embedded in there as we head off to the north and to the east. Now again, as we see this kind of push out, we'll see more activity coming in from the north and west as we go into Thursday. Now I'm going to take a look at the long range forecast model, but still start with today or this evening, right? Because we've got some stuff to talk about, right? First of all, those gusty north winds that we saw today, this is pushing to the east. So the winds are dying down. right? But then we take a look at that colder system coming in on Wednesday. Now, Wednesday, the colder air isn't here just yet, but we are seeing those showers begin to push in with a weak cold front passing through. Now, as we go into Wednesday night into Thursday, now the colder air is moving in, snow levels between 2,000 and 3,000 feet. But one of the things I want you to keep in mind is the fact that this is a fairly moisture-starved system. So number one, not a ton of rainfall. Number two, not a ton of snow. However, as you get into the 4,000 or 5,000 foot range, now you're talking about some decent snow. That colder air should still be in place even on Friday as that low pressure system moves down to the south and east. So still looking at fairly low snow levels for your Friday. That colder air moves out, then another pocket of colder air comes in. This one, not quite as cold. I'm expecting for the weekend snow levels between 3,000 and 4,000 feet, but still looking at chance for some off and on showers. But one of the things you'll notice is we're not looking at anything terribly organized and heavy when it comes to rain. Then we go into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, another ridge of high pressure building in, temperatures going back up. So you kind of get the idea, at least with the temperatures, they're going to go up. They're up now, they're going to go down, and then they're going to go right back up again as we take you into next week. Now again, as far as snow is concerned, I hesitate to show you this because I don't want you to get too excited when you start seeing a lot of these pinks indicating 12, 18 inches plus. But as you go above 4,000 or 5,000 feet, we could see some significant snow in parts of Northern California, and not to mention into the Sierra. Now, we could even see some light accumulations down to as low as 3,000 feet and maybe even locally lower. Maybe even a bit of a mix for places like Weaverville and Hayfork, for example, and maybe some light accumulations out towards Mount Shasta City. Shingletown, for example, Chester, right? Maybe even Alturas could see some of that snow as well. So it looks like we could be looking at some decent snow for some of those highest elevations. Now, rain, as I mentioned, fairly moisture starved. When we look at the amount of rainfall that's expected for today all the way through Sunday, I mean, we're talking maybe upwards of 1/4 of an inch of rainfall for the valley. That's also the case for the coast. Most of it's going to be to the north and east. Now, this is actually flip-flop from what we typically see. Usually most of the rain is on the coast, parts of the valley, and the eastern mountains, and then we see much less to the north and east. But it's actually exactly opposite of that, where we're seeing the bulk of at least the water equivalency as we go into the north and east. So it'll be interesting to see how this pans out. We'll certainly keep a close eye on it as we get closer and closer to the storm systems kind of passing through, but that's what the overall pattern is looking like for now. And when we look at the wave heights, they're actually dropping here for your Tuesday, so conditions should be better if you have to be on a small boat. But then, yeah, as we go into Wednesday, that next storm system coming in, the wave heights, unfortunately, probably going back up. So no advisories, at least for tonight and into tomorrow morning, with northwest winds at about 5 to 10 knots for your Tuesday, waves from the northwest at 5 feet at 6 seconds, and from the northwest at 6 feet at about 14 seconds. All right, so here's what we can expect here for tonight. It's getting a little chilly out there, upper 40s for the valley and mainly above freezing for most of us in the higher elevations, with the exception of Alturas down to about 27. 45 in Weaverville, and temperatures should be in the upper 40s along the coast, and looks like in the mid 30s, give or take, for Siskiyou County. All right, so here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Gorgeous, gorgeous day out there. 72 degrees for Lewiston, 75 for Weaverville and Trinity Center, about 72 degrees. We take you off to the southern portions of the North Coast, in particular southern Humboldt County. Blue Lake about 67, 61 degrees for Eureka and Garberville. A high of 74 degrees, 67 degrees for Smith River, 63 for Oric, and there you can see Orleans getting close to 80 degrees for that daytime high. We take you to the south, to Siskiyou County, where we've got temperature about 76 for Wairika, 75 for Fort Jones, 78 for Happy Camp, and looks like Mount Shasta about 72 degrees. Now, for Modoc County, I've got 68 degrees for Fort Bidwell, 72 for Tule Lake, 70 in Calpines, and there you can see 8 in a high of about 68. And for your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast, again, I want you to take note. We're going from 70 on Tuesday down to 44 degrees, or really mid to upper 40s here by Thursday, Friday. Quite a drop in those temperatures, but again, gorgeous for your Tuesday. Looking at your valley neighborhood forecast, 75 Orland, 76 degrees for Willows, 75 for Los Molinos, and Biggs about 73. And we take you up north with 76 degrees for the city of Shasta Lake, 73 for Whiskeytown, and 76 in Red Bluff. Let's take a look at that 7-day outlook for Redding. And yeah, the temperatures are starting to drop after tomorrow. We're on 77 degrees or higher on Tuesday, but then back down into the mid 50s by Thursday and Friday. We'll be looking at that off and on chances for showers here through Sunday before we see things dry out and warm back up for the beginning of next week.